could have reduced the rent $200, right?
Right.
If it was $2,000. So bring the rent down to 18, get your rent right away, and you're going to be fine. You're where
Yep.
you need to be, not have a vacant property. And I've
Exactly.
had troubles with some of my owners with that. But
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Micah Johnson, and today I'm joined by Teresa, who's been making serious moves in the single-family residential rental space for quite some time now. Teresa, welcome in. Glad to have you.
hi, nice meeting you. Thank you for the invite.
Absolutely. We're excited to have you here. I think our listeners are really going to get some great information today that you have to share about paying attention to markets, how to understand your rentals, and even, maybe having to swallow a hard pill every now and again when it comes to what the market does in that space. So let's dive in on that. For people who may not know you yet, what's your main focus right now and what markets are you active in?
My main focus right now is in the rental business and getting our rentals rented. We have had zero vacancies for years after years after years after years, but now the rental prices have gone up and the tenants need lower
Mm,
rentals prices. So the idea is to get that going, so then investors will want to buy because they're making the money that they need to make on their investments.
absolutely. And where are you focused? Where do you practice real estate at?
I practice real estate in Brevard County, the Space Coast area, and we do Central Florida. I do have a license over in Tampa at the Greater Tampa Bay Board of Realtors. So we are trying to focus across Central Florida, but our main focus is here in Brevard.
Awesome. Excellent. So based on our pre-call conversation, you've been in real estate for quite some time now. Tell us a little about your journey in the business and what brought you to where you are today.
What brought me to here today was the age 26, I wanted to invest in my first property, and I did. At age 26, I invested in property, and then less than a year and a half, I made a ton of money on that investment. And I knew then that real estate was where I was going to make money, but that's not the career I was in, obviously. At age 26, I was selling. But I got my license in Pennsylvania, and I had it in escrow as I moved to Florida. So I had a license in Pennsylvania for 5 years, and then I came down here, and I was trying to figure that out today, but I know it's over 32 years here in Florida. So
Okay. Well, you're officially a local then. I'm born and raised in Florida, been here my whole life, and when you get over 30 years, you're a local now. So welcome
yes.
in. We're glad you're here.
Thank you, thank you. And I love
So,
Florida. I'm not going
um,
back to Pennsylvania
me
anytime
too.
soon.
Me too. You'd have to take me out of this state kicking and screaming. That's for sure.
Yes,
Um, it,
exactly.
it's it's where I'm going to be. And my family's been here, I don't know, 150, 200 years now. We're of the state of Florida.
Yes.
So, okay, let's talk about what you're noticing in that rental market. You touched on a little bit right there at the intro, but what are you noticing most in the market right now, and what challenges are y'all paying attention to?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
That's a big question. Low income rentals seem to be fine. We can rent them quick and they're gone almost the day that we list them. The higher and the mid size with the 2,000 and above, they're just slower. And the owners need to look at really what is going on in the market. We do send out comps, comparative market analysis of those rentals, but they want to cover their expenses of the new association fees that have gone up. They want to cover their insurance, and then they want to cover the new taxes that have gone up. Problem is that those rentals are not turning over as quick as possible. They usually were gone. All of the rentals were gone. This is a new market because people bought a little bit too high, and then they want their rate of return, and that's not happening.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. I've noticed that in my own market as well, that it's been a educational phase for sure, especially for landlords, and especially if you got into a deal pretty skinny. Because that's something I don't think a lot of folks think about is, especially if you buy a house inside an association, those fees go up. Those are not fixed. And you never know when it's going to happen. It can
Exactly.
just, it happened in my neighborhood 2 years ago. All of a sudden, it was just $75 more. Nothing changed. We got nothing extra for it. It was just $75 more.
Yep.
And every dollar goes into your profit margin. Every little piece can pop. And then you mentioned insurance. Insurance gone crazy in Florida.
Exactly. And a lot of people are getting out of the market and trying to sell. So we do have a little bit of a flood of houses too. And supply and demand has always been an issue on your pricing. So if we have a lot of supply, the prices need to come down, and that's not happening. So a lot of property is sitting on the market right now.
That's what we've noticed here too. And it's when I was first getting into real estate, they described it as the gap, where you're in a period where we went from 20 to 2022, 2023, everything was on the way up. Prices were rising, rents were rising, appreciation was happening like crazy. And it kind of creates this idea in your mind of what something's worth. And worth is market-based. It is
Exactly.
completely market-based. So falling in love with a price, or even worse, and you could probably talk to this with the investors you work with, penciling in deals that don't work and just trying to make it work, right? Getting into something just because I got to buy something is not the move you want to make in a market like this. It can get you upside down quick.
Yes, yes. And I have been listening to a lot of podcasts here in our area, and they said with the interest rates are going to be basically what, at 6.25. Maybe they might come down, but that's going to be the average next year. Or this year, I should say this year. We're in the new year.
Yeah, we got here.
And with that in mind, if nothing's selling, what do you have to do? You do have to come down on your list price. Unfortunately, or you're not going to sell, because the prices that we had at 2% and 3% were actually lower. And that's what really graduated up us to these high prices. Now we have to come back down a little, but it's teaching our sellers and our landlords that pricing needs to still come down a little for the market to start moving again.
For sure. And it won't be forever. It'll
No.
get to go back up, right? It's
Yep.
always worked that
Always goes
way.
back up.
It's being adaptable in the market. And I think a lot of people get stuck there, where they've been doing it a certain way and it's quote unquote worked for so long. And then all of a sudden, the market cycle does what it does. And you got to go into this moment thinking, okay, what do I do next? And that's where having someone like yourself alongside with you is.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Really a key to success, in my opinion.
Yes, yes, yes. We service our with our landlords, because we're not the landlord, we're the management company. We try to educate them, but sometimes they've been in the business so long they think they know better than us professionals out there, and that's a little bit of a problem. But we try to overcome that. And right now, like I said, we've got probably the highest amount of rentals, but it's only 7 that we want to get done. So we can say, okay, they've been rented, and now that'll help build the market values up. We need to get these rentals rented.
Get them back out there, get them as comps again, and not just as days on market ticking away. Because that's one
Tick,
of
tick,
the
tick. Yeah.
that's one of the number one killers of just perception about a property is you look at that days on market, and the higher it gets, there's only one thing people think: what's wrong with it?
Right.
Why is nobody renting it? And that is, it's funny. I've seen people throughout my career lose more money by waiting than if they would have just went down to begin with because
Right.
of that perception where it's like, I'm
After a
going to hold
month.
on and hold
Right.
on. Yeah. And then they
After a month,
don't.
they could have reduced the rent $200, right?
Right.
If it was $2,000. So bring the rent down to 18, get your rent right away, and you're going to be fine. You're where
Yep.
you need to be, not have a vacant property. And I've
Exactly.
had troubles with some of my owners with that, but my owners love me and they do respect me. I've got to tell you, I've had some of my owners for almost 30 years. So
Oh, so, and that's everything in this business. Real estate is a relationship business. And if you do it well, people stick. They stick
yes,
with you. One of the things I love about real estate is it has the oldest written code of ethics in America, the longest one that we have. We've been doing this a long time, and it shows that if you will show up each day and do the right thing, show up for your customers, show up for your clients, tell them what's actually happening. Don't get commission breath. Don't worry about the part at the end. Actually serve. You have way more sales, way more closing. Everything changes for you. And what it really does is create that word of mouth experience.
right, exactly. And I mentioned earlier about being the boutique shop. We are small, but we are thorough and we are full of integrity. We want to tell it the way it is. They may not like to hear it the way it is, but we know what makes success. So
Right.
we're here to help them, guide them on their way from start to finish, whether it means you need to paint, whether you need to do this. Sometimes you have to spend a little money to make money. We're here to help them through that. We have a lot of vendors to deal with too to help them through a lot of that process.
And that's key too, knowing who to call. When whatever you need needs taken care of, it's having the right person in your tool belt. I say a lot. If the problem you have can be solved by a phone call, you don't have a
Mhm.
problem. Right. What you
Exactly.
have is a solution. And take action on that. And the better those relationships are by just practicing good business, it makes it where people answer your calls. The work gets done faster. And that's where folks like you in the business that manage properties for landlords, it's something they need to take account in. Is not
Mhm.
just are they taking this off my plate so I don't get the phone call in the middle of the night, but are they actually serving me? Are they helping my business grow in a way where it's not just turning the light off, not,
Right.
I don't want to worry about it anymore. They're just taking care of it. So that's a powerful way to do it. What else have you noticed in the industry right now? You were mentioning earlier, there's a little bit of fraud issues that you've been dealing with. What would you say to folks right now to really pay attention to that are out there looking at properties?
I think those for sale by owners better watch themselves very, very, very carefully. We do this day in and day out, and we can almost smell it. We got 2 emails today. One wanted us to link on something, even link it on somebody's email because they had some questions.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
We want them to come to us. We know what questions to ask and what to look at. So we have to take them back. We had somebody trying to list their property with us, supposedly, on the waterfront here in Merritt Island on the Banana River. And they wanted it listed right away. They're out of town. The urgency is kind of there. We said we need ID. We looked up the tax record. The ID seemed to look like it was the property. Looked a little bit closer, got on the division of licenses, and it wasn't. We noticed that there was something going on with an agent that had already listed it, put money, advertising signs, had offers, went through everything. But we, being little, we noted slow down and look at everything very closely. And when we got a hold of the agent, she said, we got a hold of the owners, and the owners are not selling. They're going to be building on that property in a couple weeks.
Wow. So paying attention to someone selling something they don't even have. It reminds me, I put a contract or a property under contract in North Carolina where that turned out to be the case. It was not the owner that was listing it or that was selling it for what we were getting it for. And I think it's something everybody needs to take that extra step to look at and not be in a rush, especially in this kind of market. It was always funny to me how even early in my career, I felt in a hurry all the time. And then I realized there's absolutely nothing I can do to speed up a real estate transaction. Nothing.
Exactly.
Like everybody's got their own little part to do. And me running around freaking out is not helping. Let the professionals do their part. Let it take place because again, a bad deal is way worse than no deal,
Yes,
right? Like
exactly.
don't put yourself in that situation.
And guess who it's going to maybe hurt more than the seller is the buyer. The buyer's going to have to put a deposit down, and then the fraud people will take the deposit. That's all they want is that deposit. And if they're dealing with a for sale by owner, is it really the owner? Is it really the person that they're supposed to be dealing with? That's what us professionals are there for, to really protect them. We have errors and omission insurance. There's so many things that we can help buyers out with. So to bring it back home, same with investors, like you said, that was with an investor that you had, not somebody just
Yeah.
trying to buy residential. You're trying to buy residential. That's your last $5,000 or $10,000 to buy a piece of property. That's crazy to lose it to not dealing with a professional.
It is. It is. And the issue is you can't get it back. It's one of the
It's
worst
gone.
frauds I saw was early in whenever people were copying title companies' emails, when they were sending this extra email with a link that you would deposit money into an account that wasn't the title company's. I think it was $320,000 I watched somebody lose. A girl in my office, newer realtor, unfortunately didn't catch it. And it was just like, holy cow, you don't get this back. And that was a large real estate brokerage, like you're mentioning. You can kind of get lost in the shuffle a little bit in those bigger ones. So that ability to be boutique and control your own destiny more or less to say, okay, this is how we're going to do it. This is what we're going to look for. The amount of protection that provides to your buyers, your sellers, your investors, that's exactly what you're there for.
Exactly. One day at a time, one step at a time. going through the proper steps of doing comprehensive market analysis and making sure that you really know what you're buying. Have a closing tomorrow, and this is the first time I heard this, and maybe you might have heard this. The bank just came back and said, and it's a big investment company, I want to say like the Merrill Lynch's of the world, said that market's going to be going down. And I'm saying, what are you talking about? You haven't even looked at the comps. They're more worried about their portfolio, and they're looking at the big picture because they're using a big bank and not a
Yep.
local lender. And I'm sure you could talk about that. I would love to come back and talk about sales in general one day over the rentals, but the they don't have a clue what's going on. And for
And that,
them to say that and get more money from the buyer, now we're talking 650,000.
yeah,
So that that's like, okay, do you really know what you're talking about? Do you see the townhouses in that area and what they're really going for? And they're going,
right,
the market's going to go down. Yes, the market is going to go down. That's in the news, right? I mean, it's
right.
everywhere. It's going to go down a little. But does that mean it's going to go down? And you mentioned this. Is that going to go down in the next 2 years? Are they going to keep the property for 3 years? It could be back up again,
Right.
right?
Right. And that's where real estate, it's so segmented. We hear the national real estate statistics. They're not that useful, in my
Mm-mm.
opinion. They're
No,
not painting a picture. Real estate is a market by market, city by city endeavor. And that's why you have to study it yourself, know what you're getting into, build teams with people that know what's going on there. Like you're talking about, find that local lender, find the local realtor, find the people that are there and know what's going on. Even if you're fixing flipping, find those local workers that know where to get stuff from, how to get it, making sure that every way you can to keep your costs down to be a successful investor, you're utilizing that tool.
exactly. Exactly. So,
Let me ask you this. For listeners who are earlier in their career, because who's primarily listening, we got investors in all stages of the process. What's made the biggest difference for you when it comes to building relationships and growing your network in the business?
I'm not like the big Caldwell bankers and ERA and all the what builds businesses, building relationships, and and that is so important because you want, the buyer to feel comfortable and that know that you're full of integrity, so he can bring his children to you, so those children can, whether they're investing or buying, they know what they're looking at and where they're going to make money, and then they're going to come back and buy from you again because they made money. um they can get caught up a little bit in the deals like you're talking about, like, oh, it's better over here, or it's better over here. But you being up up in St. Augustine and here in Cocoa Beach, we have some of the lowest real estate prices in all of Florida right now.
Mm.
We always have been lower than most of Florida, and that has never changed because we're so small and boutique-ish.
Mm.
Yes, we're getting the $1 million and the $2 million properties that are buying out the little properties, and the growth is happening. But we'll never go down in value. We've never gone really down in value. This is just a hiccup right now. But overall, prices go up, and people go, "I'll come back next year and I'll be cheaper." I'm going, no, I've never seen that really happen. Maybe, it might come down 20 or 50,000, but $1 million property is not going to go down in value.
Right? Like, how much do you think it's going to go down? And the biggest difference right now is money's more expensive. Like, what's
Yes,
driving up people's monthly payments on their mortgage is it just costs you way more to have a $200,000 house than it used to. And that's what knocks that value down is it's more done by a different mechanism than by the market actually quote unquote shrinking or going down. Like, it's understanding what's pushing and pulling on it so that excuse me, so that you can pull the right levers in your own life and business, whether that's
right,
buying personally or buying as an investment. Because you're right. I can't. There's all the we call it the that guy. Nobody wants. Oh, excuse me. Nobody wants to be that guy. That one that said, "Oh, I'll come back then, and I'll come back then." And so many people are, and they realize, oh my God, I could have bought this same
I
house.
should have bought it last year. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a
exactly.
buyer's market. It really is a buyer's market right now. It
It
really is.
is. It
And
is.
and
Inventory
that
is sitting.
that little thing is gonna come, and then people are gonna go, "Oh, I missed it. I missed it." I mean, where else could you get and I got an example because I have a listing. Where else could you get a canal home with 5 bedrooms and a lift and a pool and a hot tub and a grill, outside grill with natural gas and a generator and all hurricane proof ready in the 600s?
Right?
Where can you get that?
Not many places.
No.
Not many places. And that's it. That is one cool thing about Cocoa Beach is that whole area is unique to itself. The Space Coast is a cool little section of Florida, and most people forget about it because it's either North Florida or you get down to South Florida or
South
Tampa,
Florida.
right?
Look at
But
the
that
prices in South Florida.
right? Crazy. And you're looking in Tampa right now where so many properties got built over the last couple years where they're really in a buyer's market over there. And what would you say to someone to take advantage of that buyer's market? What's the mindset you would need right now to make sure you're out there getting good deals?
Again, find somebody that knows the market, like you said, and get those comprehensive market analysis done and do a thorough investigation of that whole market. Now, if you ask me for a waterfront home, I'm going to give you all the waterfront homes. Don't just be steered. The new
Mm,
market, we could get into that another day. The way that the sellers don't have to pay the commission and all that. I actually believe for a fact that steering has almost become more possible now
wow.
than it was before
Wow.
because of the commission thing. So if the seller's not going to give the commission, you could lose that showing by not meeting the commission because that other agent's still going to go where the commission is at.
Exactly. And that's 100% true in the realtor world. No one ever liked talking about it, but if you're going to discount your commission or not give it, your house is not going to get shown. Right?
No,
Everybody was upset about the 6%, how it was quote unquote like the staple. However, it just was the place where people agreed, like, okay, this is worth the work. This is worth that. And it kept people going. Like you said, it is one of the unspoken rules, and it's rough because that's one of the biggest parts of being a realtor in the ethics is not steering, is
not
really
steering.
truly
Give them
trying
all
to
the properties that are out there
exactly show them
and
what's
price
truthfully available so they can make a decision for themselves. Now,
it.
that's
Yes.
powerful. Okay, before we wrap up here, if someone wanted to reach out to you, Teresa, and connect with you, talk about business, real estate in the area that you're in, what's the best way for them to find you?
www.areproperties.com is our website, and you can call our direct number, which is 321, the countdown, 799-4141.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And we'll make sure that that link and their number is in the show notes for you if you want to reach out. Teresa, thanks so much for joining me today. I've had a
Thank
pleasure speaking
you.
with you. I think we need more people in the space like yourself that are just doing it the right way, taking that extra time and step to make sure your customers are served. I love that. So for those of you tuning in, if you got value from today's episode, please like the episode, subscribe to our podcast. We have more operators just like Teresa coming up on future episodes that are out there doing it right. Thank you so much. We'll see you on
Thank
the next
you.
episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.